Hi everybody, I hope y'all can like see my face everywhere. This is hella cool. I wish it was bigger, but like I don't think the Galaxy tablet has updated that yet, or if so I probably had to download some other app, but ain't nobody got time for that. So let's continue. Okay. I'd rather show you guys the key, the legend. You know, you got the books, which means that it's available at my library. If you see a book and a check mark, it means I have it checked out right now. If you see the headset, you mean I have the audiobook available to me like currently right now. The purple heart means that I own it in more than one format, okay? Star means release date. If you see a kid, like a small kid, then that means that it's kid/middle grade. If you see a girl with pigtails, young adult. A black girl with an afro, new adult/adult. The black heart is obviously dark romance, so trigger warning for everything. The blue heart, Kindle Limited. The milk bottle means spoiled milk, which means I keep making attempts to read it, but I haven't. And of course, the rainbow is the LGBTQ community. So let's go into the next one. Let's go into nonfiction. I hope you like this. I like it too. Like, maybe I should move myself in like the bottom half. Yes. So the first thing that I have checked out is Cultish. All I know is that it's a close look at, cults and fanatics. I know books like Whoa, she was the one who kind of put me on. I forgot what video she did, but like, yeah, it was that video. And I kind of was digging it, but I was like, you know what? Let me start reading it. So it's a bit of crime and religion. So we're going to see how it is. So, and I wanted to read more nonfiction anyway. So the next book, which I'm daunting because I have it checked out, but I might have to return it because this is definitely one of those popular books like last year. So if I get to it, I get to it. But literally, like, I have like until like maybe the 8th to return it. But basically, this is basically the woman who could not be silent. And basically, she was thrown into an insane asylum. At least that's what I heard. And she tries to escape. And of course, a whole bunch of people, a lot of men, keep holding her back, right? Next, we have The Pain Gap. This I know is explores a few women's tales in the healthcare system, how they dealt with misogyny and also the health crisis here in America. Sorry, there's like something in my eyes, but I'm interested. It's not as popular as my library, so I can like literally keep on, reading it if I want to. So we're gonna move on. So another book that is also hella popular is Empire of Pain. I literally just checked this back in because I couldn't renew it. So many people had this shit on hold. Basically, it's a family full of liars who make profits off the back of people of pain and addiction. If I recall, they're the ones who created the opioid crisis, claiming that that it's not addictive, but it is. So, and the many legal troubles. And I heard that the last bit shows the more recent stuff. So there's that. Also, I just have this checked out. Literally, it's called The Righteous Mind, Why Good People Are Divided by Politics and Religion. And I have to say, it's always been on my TBR for nonfiction, but like, I kind of wonder if the author is going to only cover the US or just the world in general. So we're just going to see. Next, we have Guns, Germs, and Steel. The Fates of Humanities and Society. When I tell you, this has been on my TBR since high school. It's been there for a while, okay? For a long ass while. And I think it was one of the, I don't know, like back in high school, they had some kind of list of books. Obviously, it wasn't required reading for that class, but it was just some books to reference from, right? So it's like, I don't know, it's always been on my mind. So I was like, you know what, might as well check it out. I got the book, I got the audiobook, might as well read them together, Next, this has... I might as well put this in my spoiled milk section. I don't know why I didn't put the symbol there. But basically, this is true crime, and it's about this rape and murder that happened on Harvard campus, and it's called We Keep the Dead Closed. And they've been keeping this secret for like half a century, and I remember hearing all about it. It's either by Books Like Well or or several other booktubers. So this has been heavy on my noggin. I keep trying to read it, but then I stop, and it's like, no. I'm going to read it this year. I really want to read more nonfiction, so it's going to have to happen. Next is, I feel so bad, in its hood feminism. I actually own the book downstairs. I have it, and it's like, haven't been touched. Do I have the audiobook? I have to double check in my catalog, but I'm pretty sure I definitely have the physical copy. Obviously, everybody and the mama keeps talking about it, so we're gonna have to see. So, I'm back, and I should just say Julia Shaw, but she has a new book coming out this year in June 28th called Bi, The Hidden Culture and History of, and the Science of Bisexuality. And she has this other book that's been on my TBR for a while, and that's called Evil. And there's another book about evil, but I was like, nah, this one is slightly shorter, okay, compared to the tome of the other one. So I figured, you know what, let me start with her book that's been on my TBR the longest, and then read this one. I have enough time, right? So we're going to see. this one I'm interested in. It's basically, I guess, a theory or a theology about, you know, God being a black woman, which I've heard many times, especially if you in the certain parts of the YouTube channels, and some that involve science and others that don't. But it's like, you know what? I could dig it. It comes out in February. It's not too much on my TBR, but it's definitely something that I want to read this year. Let's see. Next is Open, an uncensored memoir of love, liberation, and monogamy. And this one I'm interested in. I'm more interested in reading just a little bit more about polyandry, because, like, sure, there's some YouTube channels, some YouTube couples I follow. Well, not really follow. Like, when they show up, I end up watching their stuff. But it'll be interesting to see from a different perspective, because I know there's, like, different types. So it's like, you know what? Why not read at least one perspective, you know? Next is sci-fi, which, it's the shortest one here, but let's get through. What the hell? Oh, my bad. Listen, so the first sci-fi, which technically could be called cosmic horror, but either way, sci-fi nonetheless. This is called Dead Silence, and everybody and my mama has been talking about it. Comes out in February. Basically, you have the Titanic meets The Shining, where you have this other ship that kind of gets stranded, and they find the wreckage of this really luxury cruiser that went missing 20 years ago. So you don't know what the fuck is going on. Is it aliens? Is it ghosts? Is it a combination of all of it? I don't know. Or is it some kind of weird alien parasite that possesses the dead people? I don't know. Either way, I'm excited. We're going to see. Next is Goliath, also a heavy set sci-fi. I just call it Civil War in space. I'm trying to not go into deep with it. All I know is, like, our history, but in space. That's what I know of. So hopefully I like it. It comes out this month in January. Now my favorite, fantasy. I have a few blacklists and a few new ones, but, like, obviously we got the second book in the Mari and the Night Brothers series. I love my baby girl. Don't nobody want to fuck with her. I don't care. Like, you mess with her, you messing with me. Like, that's how much I love my girl Lamari. And you got that little demon in the background. If you read the first book, you understand. But, like, you got that person in the background and it's like, man, I'm too petty for these kids. I'm too petty. Like, good for her for some kindness. Not Ty. Okay? This one, I've been dying to read. I have to reread the other books because I've been highlighting the shit because I got, like, the hardcover copies. I need to find the hardcover copy of the first one because I literally have a paperback version of that one because I couldn't find. That's why I bought the hardcover copy. Now I can't find the hardcover copy. What the hell? And so at least I know that I own both copies. And I need to annotate the shit out of them. I own the ebook. I own the audiobook. I own the physical copies of this book. Like, that's how much I'm obsessed with the series. Same with the finale. And I heard that this year she's coming out with an audiobook. I'm scared. I'm so scared. Like, like the second book, like, you know how, like, the second book is always, like, middle book syndrome. Not this series. No, like, I'm just scared shitless. Like, I'm so terrified for these characters. Like, you don't even understand. Like, I remember finishing the second book and I was, like, shaking when I got into the Barnes & Nobles and got my hands on the copy on the final book. And I was like, and it came out in 2020, but, like, a whole ass year later, I have yet to read it. I might do a whole entire vlog. I'm not too sure. I'm not sure how entertaining that will be. Maybe it's because I'm going to refresh my memories. And I was like, oh, I remember this dumbass motherfucker. I was like, yo, but this Civil War has me in shambles and I'm scared for every last one of my characters. Can you believe it? We're in 2021 right now, and I have avoided all spoilers. What the actual hell? Normally, I would be spoiled by now, but it's like, I'm happy that I've been avoiding the shit out of every single spoiler, any single review. Anytime that they're doing a wrap-up, I was like, I automatically skip. Like, I'm really proud of myself. Next, the Final Strife. This is the first book of a visionary African-Arabian-inspired fantasy trilogy. 3 women band together against a cruel empire that divides people by blood. And look at this cover, y'all. Like, look at this cover. And I heard that it's LGBTQ. I'm not sure if it's also poly, but if it is, for YA, I wouldn't be surprised. Like, I mean, I'll be surprised because I don't really see that many, you know, YA poly stuff. Like, I see it for, like, new adult, but YA, no, I don't see that often. So, this was one of my favorite books last year. I read it on tour, NetGalley, duh. So, y'all, this is also the same. I feel like I might, okay, obviously since this is the second book, like, since this is the second book, obviously I'm going to read it. But since this is, I don't know, it's a different tone compared to the David Bott trilogy. But I have a feeling that once I read this, I'm going to be scared to read the next book that comes out. Because, like, y'all, I'm, like, terrified. And look at this cover. And I love every last one of these people. Well, not everyone. I'm just, like, biting my nails at this point. So this is August. I plan on rereading the first book probably the month before, so I can like get well acquainted again. So, but that's a long time to be trying to reread. And I'm like, I have a lot of rereads I plan on doing this year so I can catch up and remember all the shit. But I was like, ugh. And that's a lot of tomes too. Ugh. Like, why did I do this to myself? And can you believe it? I actually thought about rereading the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas, and I prefer her Akatar series, and I own the Crescent Moon, the first book, and I have the second book for that series as an anticipated read this year, but I have yet to finish the first book. I literally have clips of the old ass vlogs. Like, that's how, can you believe that shit? And like all these damn tomes, and it's like, oh my god. So that's enough rambling for tonight. But yes, I'm excited, and I thought about, you know, reading her other books, but like I remember I DNF'd the other book series, so I don't know. I know that the other one is more romantic heavy, but I think it was because of the mood that I was in at the time that I was reading her other book. I think it's called Empire Sands, that I wasn't feeling it. So maybe this year might be the year for that other series. But for now, this is a year for her, for this newer one. Okay? For the Jasmine Throne. Next, Ashes of Gold. I literally have the first book right there. This is the second book that comes out, wow, super early. But I just know that a lot of people were kind of shocked at how gruesome it is. And I was like, ooh, I'm shocked. You're shocked? Let me get into it. So that's why I have the first book checked out. And I was about to put the Merciless one, which is book 2 of the Gilded ones. But it's like, I have too many books that have started last year that I'm excited to read this year, but also excited for the second book this year. Like, it makes no damn sense. So I might as well catch up before this video gets even longer and longer than it should be. Next, romance. Oh my god, my woman Stacey Nash. Like, I'm just sad. Like, my wife got married. Like, really, she got married without me. Anyways, let's start with romance, okay? So we got Grudge, which is the third finale of the Malice series, and y'all, I'm nervous. I'm nervous. Like, this is one of my favorite dark romance trilogy, I guess. Because, like, the first book starts with Nicholas, aka Malice. Then you have, it kind of centers around, it's a continuation for the whole thing, but it's like centers around each brother. It's like each brother kind of dominates the book. So Malice, aka Nicholas, is the first one. Anthony was the second one. And now we have William. And William, I think William is a Capricorn. And as a Capricorn myself, I'm nervous. And it's a reverse harem, basically, with a whole lot of tremblance. Like, just like, yo, it's the second book had me, like, the whole build up to the second book was like on eggshells. So when we found out who really died, I was like, it wasn't who I thought it was, but I was like, and like, you got Juliet up in there, so it's like, yeah. And I have a feeling that there's a lot of William Shakespeare retellings within, like, hints here and there, because the main character is Juliet. William, he's like the third brother. I feel like Malice, aka Nicholas, is something to do with one of William Shakespeare's play, and I think so does Anthony. But I don't be knowing William Shakespeare stuff like that to be knowing and making connections like that. I think I made some connections, but not all of it. So there's that. Let's move on to the next book before it's not really a book, but it's an author, and that is R.M. Virtues. Like, I just want to read every last one of his newer and old books. Like, I'm now following him on Instagram, and like, now first I wasn't like interested in the other books, but ever since he like started posting those visuals and like his thoughts and ideas about Gods of Hunger series, and it's basically retellings of the Greek gods and shit, but black and queer, I was like, yes. And the reason why I got into him was because of what was it? Sing Me to Sleep. Yo, Sing Me to Sleep. It's available on Kindle Unlimited. And I did buy it. Like, I bought it. I ate that shit up. I was like, nah, like, I'm buying this. Like, as soon as I finished reading it on Kindle Unlimited, I bought it. Like, that's how much I wanted permanently in my library. So there's that. And there's another one that I don't think is part of a series, but there's that. And ever since I heard that, you know, Sing Me to Sleep, it's like a standalone, but it's like an introduction to like the same universe, but with I think it's the virtues and the sins and everything, you know, the 7 deadly sins and 7 virtues. I think it's in the same world. I had to double check, but the concept art for and the fan casting for for the Greek gods retellings and the Gods of Hunger, I want that. And I saw his lineup for all the new books that he's coming out for this year. I think he's gonna be an audio buy for me, which is rare. Before, Sarah J. Maas used to be my audio buy, but now it's rare for someone to be my audio buy. Obviously, S.A. Chakra Beauty is definitely an audio buy, so it's really rare for someone to be an audio buy, and I think he is definitely going to be one of them. So I just wanted to put his whole damn face out there. Go follow him on all his socials. Like, go visit his website. Like, nah, like, he writes some good shit. Like, Yeah, yo, dead ass. Next, oh my god, this is a spoiled milk. I own this. This is part of a standalone series where it follows each brother. I forgot which brother this is, but it's a Valentine damn family. But like, I keep picking up and I keep trying to read this book, but I don't know what it is about it, but I just keep stopping like in the middle of it. And it's like, yeah, I'm gonna move on to something else. So this is a year. I'm gonna try to get through it. At least keyword try. So all of the books I believe is available on Kindle Unlimited. Before I even knew, when I first got into Kindle Unlimited, I accidentally bought book 4 of the series, and I didn't know how to return, so it's permanently stuck there. So I'm definitely gonna because it's like, listen, if I accidentally bought that shit, I'm going to read it. So hopefully I like it enough. I'll see if I was each brother. I do remember that one of the brother is dead. We don't know how that happened. At least I don't think so. Or maybe it's been so long I damn forgot. But either way, we're gonna try to make it through. Next, oh yes, this is another spoiled milk. Okay, like I bought this around the same time as the previous book, and this is a sports romance, interracial romance, and y'all, like, I don't know why. I think it's because I thought that the couple was moving a little bit too quickly. Like, people claim that, oh, it's moving slow. No, not to me. And obviously, Oshale, she be putting me onto so many damn books. So it's like, so I feel like now that I'm in a different mindset, I might be able to finish up. Like, it's been a while since this author posted any new books within the series, because like there's several hockey players, and all of them are supposed to find black girlfriends. So yeah, and it's a tome, so maybe I could finish it quicker since it's a romance, because I don't know, romance tomes read a lot faster to me, unless it's like full of unnecessary shit like Den of Fucking Vipers. Ugh. Next, another tome, and that is my girl Kenya Wright. I feel so guilty for not reading this as soon as I read some of it, but like I kept moving it back and forth, and it's like I kept going back between this one, another Kenya Wright book called Power, and the Lion and the Mouse series, and other stuff too. So this kind of got forgotten about. Oh, and Quarantine and Chill. Yes, Quarantine and Chill. So basically, you follow 2 FBI agents. One of them has been working in there longer than the black woman, I'll say. But like, they work together to try to track down this serial killer who targets little black girls. And the mystery causes further racial division in this small town already. So I know I wrote enough notes, and thank God for like the combination between Amazon and Goodreads, because I could just look at my notes and shit. But like, yo, I wrote a whole lot of notes on who I think the killer is, my thoughts and theories based on real life, and shit. And obviously there's a romance between them, but I'm actually more interested in the mystery. But we'll see. You guys, this is the 6th book and possibly the finale of the Lion and Mouse series. This is what got me into Kenya Wright to begin with, before I started making a promise to myself to read every last one of her books. And y'all, like, this came out last year, and I think last year I finished Eva and Michael. No, he's the cool guy. I forgot his name. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe I forgot his name. But Eva, she's the ballerina. And also, like, I'm excited because like she built this whole entire universe, right? And I started the one with the dragon where he's dating this Blasian woman. But like, oh my gosh, Kenya Wright has written this Mafia Marvel universe, and I want to meet every last one. And we're going to Italy, bitch. Like, I can't wait to meet the Italians in this book. We met the Russians. Who else did we meet? We met the Russians. We met the French people, which I'm so excited because Eva, she has this cousin who lives in France who's a cook, but she's from New Orleans. And obviously with New Orleans and the French culture there, and like the relationship with the France, obviously somehow one of the cousins from the French gang, they're gonna go there somehow. And I like him, Raphael, I think that's his name, Raphael. So he's gonna go there and like probably meet up with Eva's cousin, and I can't personally wait. And I think I like her a lot. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, she's gonna be a handful for him. But like, and then who else did we meet? There was, let's see. And then we're gonna meet the Italians in this book, which then I think is gonna launch into their own series. Oh my gosh, who else? Then there's the Asians over there, the Japan. Oh, and there's also this weird rivalry that was in the novellas. Well, not really novellas. It's a whole ass novel with Eva and her little boo thing. But basically, you have this brother who was the brother of the dragon, and I think it's either stepbrothers or half brothers. Either way, I was heavily into that plot. That's why I got into the other one, because I didn't know, because they all basically kind of have the same looking covers, so I didn't even know that it was also part of the same universe. So I was like, get into it. Either way, I'm very nervous because oh my gosh, like, y'all don't understand. Like, my sweet Casimir and my sweet, oh my gosh, like it really has been a long time since I've been with Emily and Casimir, and I'm like so scared for these people, and like they're about to enter. Look, 791 pages. I'm terrified. So let's continue. Horror. We're going into horror, which I surprisingly got a lot of horror in this shit. This I don't know much about. I just know that it was definitely, oh, I wouldn't say popular. It was definitely to talk about. And it's very short. I have it checked out right now. So we're going to see. I think it's about a woman who's trying to be perfect for her husband. Something creepy happens, whatever. Then we have Blackwater. Oh, well, it's actually The Secret Keepers, and it's book 1 of the series, The Blackwater Tales. And basically it's a Black author, and you have this friend who, well, you have this girl who goes back home because the friend died, but it has something to do either with the woods or something else that is very weird. So now she's investigating what's really going on, and we don't know if it's paranormal or not. And this is the first book of a series, and I keep putting this shit on hold. So today's the day. Today's the new day. Then we have this classic one called, and who is a YouTuber who put me onto this? I believe it's The Shades of an Orange Tree. I forgot her name, but she does a lot of horror. Like she does a lot of fantasy, but mostly horror. That's who I go to for like horror recommendations. And now I got the nerdy narrative for my horror recommendations as well. So yay, I got 2 people for that. So this is a classic called Endless Night, and I think it's body horror, home invasion type of shit, survival type of shit. Like I know everybody and their mama keeps talking about this. Each time that I look up horrors to read, this book shows up. So might as well read a classic. At this point, I'm gonna call this a racial horror, because obviously, like, if it has anything to do with racial tension and like a horror element, because yeah, sure, you got like books with POC as the main characters in horrors, but like if it doesn't have to do with like racial tension, then I'm not gonna call it racial horror. But to me, this comes off as racial horror, and I have the book downstairs. Yes, downstairs, checked out from the library. We'll see how it is. You have this girl returning home to the South for a funeral. Obviously, tension rose between her, another family, I think it's a white family, and like some kind of treasure and something's going on. Either way, it's horror. Next one is The Patience of a Dead Man. And you got this man who bought this old ass house for a fixer-upper type of shit. And he's fixing up the house, so you hear some weird ass noises, but you don't know if the shit is haunted. And since this is the first book of a series, I'm excited. And we're gonna see it's also available on Kindle Unlimited. Next, also Kindle Unlimited, you got Scratches. It's a novella, very short book, but I think there's only like, 3 books? You have this book, the prequel, and something else. But basically a mother and son is with a strained relationship. They inherit a house following the death of a certain family member with a violent past. So when the son moves to his bedroom into the basement, he starts to experience unexplainable, terrifying phenomena. After he uncovers a secret concealed in the house, they quickly learn that some truths are better left a mystery. So I'm thinking this shit is paranormal, because look how creepy this shit is. Oh no, I'm scared. This is something I'm definitely going to be reading in the daytime. Another shit I'm reading in the daytime, and that is Nightfall. This is book 1 for the Nightmare Land series. Basically, the whole world goes dark, like dark, like the sun is out, but obviously the moon is still up. So obviously the sun is still there. So something weird is going on. So people are trying to figure it out. Then you got people who take advantage of it, who are like agent of chaos. As Lovely T would like to say, there are people here who are agents of chaos, and just some people who are just demonic, who take full advantage of it. Plus you got these creatures, and you got this father looking for his damn daughter, like usual. Okay. The next is racial horror / cosmic Lovecraftian horror. This is also available on Kindle Unlimited. It's not by a Black author, I don't believe, but it centers around not Jim Crow era. Well, technically Jim Crow era. You have this dude who's going who was from the South. He's migrating up north, but this was during the boom of science and everything. So obviously they're not gonna, experiment on wipe their own people. So they decided to rob, these scientists decided to rob Black cemeteries, and people are missing. Black people are missing, like Black homeless people, Black prostitutes, regular Black folks. They're going missing, and we don't know what the fuck is going on. This is part of a series, and it follows Salem Halsey. That's the name of the characters. So I'm excited. And since it's a short book, I feel like, okay, let me dip my toe. And like, obviously this is going to be very, like, I've been warned from the nerdy narrative that this is very graphic. And if you're new to horror, this probably shouldn't be what you start. But like, we don't mess with rules right here. We don't do that here. We just gonna jump right in. And oh shit, that's enough. So yeah, I'm so sorry. Like, I'm gonna like move my face towards the center. So yeah, that's basically it. That's kind of my TBR for like the whole entire year. Hopefully I get to most of it. I want to look for more sci-fi, but it's like even the new stuff, like barely any new stuff that interests me besides The Dead Silence and maybe a few others. But other than that, some of the stuff is old. And what about Winter Orbit? Okay, so I realized that I didn't add Winter Orbit, even though like I was in the middle of editing it. So basically, Winter Orbit, I tried to read it last year. It's more romance, but like also sci-fi. So political intrigue, all that stuff, gay romance, abuse, all of that stuff. And I'm excited. I'm nervous. It's a standalone, obviously, but it's like hopefully I like it. And obviously, it's mostly romance, focused on the romance, even though it's in a sci-fi setting. So I'm going to cheat this one time and put it into the sci-fi setting because that's something that I definitely wanted to read. Anyways, that is officially it. So goodbye.